In the mix with the Commish, Nate.
Surprise, motherfucker.
That's right. We are back live here on a Sunday. I am back from New York. I played what feels like a ton of games when I was home. I know I was gone for 5 days in New York, but outside of that, the 3 games I jammed in before I left, and then the 3 games I'm jamming in now that I've been back, plus 2 more on Monday. It feels like all I am doing is playing Madden or college football right now. Woe is me. Let's talk about the OMFL. It is that time again. It's time to look back at season 117. We're coming to the very end here. We're in week number 17. So we got 2 more advances and then we're off to the playoffs, and some big decisions have to be made here pretty soon. And your New Orleans Saints, don't look now. 4-game winning streak. I can't believe it. I don't know how it's happened. Somehow we keep squeaking out of these games when we should be losing. We should be aiming for a top 5 pick. Nay, I can never be called for tanking. I'm out here trying to win some games. All right, let's take a look back at the last couple of advances. We're going to look back at week 14, 15, and 16. Actually, I think we looked back at 14 already. So we're going to go 15, 16, and 17. By the time we're back with you, it will be right at the cusp, if not already starting the playoffs. It should be a ton of fun. Maniac beats Nice Songer 21-17 in a really good game. By the way, enjoying a cup of coffee. I hope that you are. We got a brand new coffee machine. I'm a bit of a coffee snob. I love making lattes and latte art. It's just been like another creative outlet for me. And if you're looking for a hobby, get into coffee. It's not that expensive and it's a lot of fun, and you get to make a product that you get to enjoy. The Houston Texans and Roger beats Denver in Cincinnati 38-7. Now look, I'm not calling tanking out here, but I'm just saying somebody should look into it. That's all I'm going to say, all right? I'm just kidding. Little Koch with a 30-17 victory over Cincyburg. That's a surprise to me. We're talking surprises here today. I wasn't around when this was played or not played. I was leaving, whatever was kind of happening. I hope that this game was actually played, but Cincyburg has been absolutely red hot. What up, Kevo? And somehow Little Koch continues to turn the corner here in season 117. Bruised by Blue, that's our buddy Pepper, and the Steelers beat Black Cats Byron and the Tennessee Titans 42-28. Joker, the 31-24 victory over Massimo and the Dolphins. Big Hurt in Jacksonville beat Nipple and the Ravens. Is Nipple around? Is he gone? Because he's lost a couple of games here that just like, wait a second. That team has been dominant all season. What's going on here? So I don't even know. Oh, no, it wasn't played. Clearly, it's a 0 right there. So shouldn't even talk about that one. Lost Sniper wins 41-30 over our guy James, who I never hear from. Should we do a wellness check on James? Does he even know how Discord works? Him and Randy. I haven't heard from either one of those guys. Bird in Carolina with a 31-17 victory over Priest. C Murder, Colin, putting up a ton of points on Tim. That's a big time loss there for Tim. 45-35 over Detroit. Those two guys had to play twice. Flaboy, Ron? Is it Ron? I'm pretty sure it's Ron. Y'all corrected me last time. Correct me again. 31-14 over D-Money, who has clearly checked out this season. This game wasn't played, so we're not going to talk about it. Trey with a big time win, 42-28 over Jay Bowles. Dallas with a 34-24 victory over Zoe. Zoe, I know you're in here, and that's not a bad game. You hung in there with one of the top dogs here. Meat Boy with a 28-23 victory over Twinkie. Randy with a 31-26 victory over Beal. And then wrapping it up right as I was leaving, my Saints somehow sneaked through with a 27-24 win over Tampa Bay. A lot of games with the number 2 next to it. Not something that you would want to see ever on these games because it just sucks having to play these guys multiple times. Let's go ahead and talk about Kevin and I's game. Why not? Kevin was nice enough to squeeze this one in right as I was leaving. I put a little soft peppermint stick at the bottom of my coffee to give it a little peppermint as it melted. And then you get to enjoy the dregs at the end. There you go. Rye. All right, I'll get it figured out. This was a really fun game, back and forth. Kevin made a surge there in the second and third quarter. We made just enough plays there in the fourth quarter to hang tight with him and sneak away with a 3-point victory. 108 rushing yards for my Saints, 235 passing yards for the Bucks, 17-16 on the first downs. You see these two teams play pretty even. The one turnover from the Tampa Bay Bucks, 3 third down conversions to 6. Even time of possession was pretty close, 24 to basically 20. St. Louis, this guy's an absolute stud. 261, 57% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had the long of 41, big touchdown over to the left. Mills, 228, 37 was his long. He was sacked only once. So the offensive line did a pretty good job here. We didn't turn the ball over, but only 52% completion percentage. Miller, 12 for 63. Irvin, 13 for 44. Rich, 4 for 36. He had one off to the right side that went for 30. So that kind of inflates those numbers just a bit. Kevin shut just about everything else down. Jordan McMillan, the rookie's having a really good season. It probably won't show up in the stats because a lot of guys like to feed those rookie receivers who are faster than him. But this guy is just big. He gets open. It works for our offense. Took a little while to get there, but he is really playing great. 6 for 116. Francisco over there for Mr. Kevin. 6 for 97. This guy's a superstar. He's going to put up tons of points all season long. And then looking at the defense really quick, Raleigh with 2 tackles on the day, 6 with assists, though. Sorry, 8 tackles total. Your tackles for loss leader are going to be Reed and Holiday. The rookie, kind of primary backup there, is playing really good after getting him off the practice squad of the New York Giants. Reed with 1 sack, Sneed, Young, and Trausker. Trausker turning it on here late in the season. The big man has got a handful of sacks. And then another rookie playing really great for us, McCullum, with 1 interception of the day. And somehow, some way, the Saints come away with a victory. Looking at week number 16 over here, Browns and Colts. Little Koch falls to Randy 38-22. Impressive victory there for Randy as he looks to make his run into the playoffs. Jets and Bills go into a tight one into the fourth quarter. Joker can put up points with the best of them. 48-34 against Randy. Falcons fall to Carolina and Bird. Again, I hope since he's okay. So clearly something has happened here in the latter half of the second half of this season, but Bird is starting to get on his surge. We've seen these Carolina Panthers do this before. 38-13. Golly, why do I always draw a blank? Luka with a 25-24 victory over Maniac and his Cardinals. Nice, close game in that one. Dwayne and Roddy Piper with a 40-37 victory over Rod and those Commanders. Rod's a really good player. It's going to be fun to see what he can do in this postseason. Tampa Bay falls to Tim 23-37. Didn't expect to see that score. That score happened while I was gone. The New York Giants and Bill with a 28-7 victory over Priest. Byron bounces back after a loss in week number 15 with a 31-20 victory over Roger. I got to play this one right as I got home. Saints with a 24-20 victory over Jay Glaze. We had an FPR break, but we overcame it, and somehow we stayed resilient and we won that game. Jay Bowles with a 42-28 victory over Pepper. Twinkie with a 31-14 victory over Big Hurt. Nysanger bouncing back from last week's loss with a 30-23 victory over Colin. A nice close game here between D-Money and Zoe. Zoe comes out on top 38-34. Denbrew in Cincinnati with a 16-10 victory over Nipples. Is he around? Someone tell me that. What up, Randy? I don't know. I see it's played twice, so he had to be around. CPU games on disconnect. I don't know. It's just what happened? What happened to Nipples? Meat Boy flexing on Massimo 42-7. And then Trey and the Chargers with a 34-17 victory over Lost Sniper, who had a big-time victory last week. Let's come back up here and talk about some of these games. I want to talk about Arizona and Kansas City. Arizona has kind of ebbed and flowed. Kansas City and our buddy Luka was gone for so long. He's back now, and man, that team has played really, really good football. 124 rushing yards there for the Cardinals. That's really good balance. 124 and 233, 70-267 over here. The 5 third down conversions, but Arizona had 4. No turnovers in this game. Red zone touchdowns, 1 for Arizona, none for Kansas City. A lot of penalty yards in this one. I kind of like that. And then a time of possession almost identical, 29 minutes to basically 31 minutes. These two teams played an identical game. Jordan, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Mahomes, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. 75% completion percentage to 70, along with 8 sacks. What? Those are stats you don't expect to see. This is all about being surprised. Boy, those stats will surprise you. Benson, 13 for 95. He had the long of 29 with the touchdown. James Cook, 9 for 53. Connor, 5 for 22. All these guys averaging well over 4 yards per carry. This is where you see both of these teams kind of shine, though. McBride, 6 for 82 with the touchdown. Rice, 8 for 75 with the touchdown. Worthy, 9 for 81. Gray even had a touchdown in there. And then looking at your tackle leaders, your defensive leaders, Johnson with 9 solo tackles on the day, 12 total with his assist. Couple tackles for loss, even though we had so many sacks in this one. 3 of them from Nolan, 1.5 from Gilead, 1 from Sweat, 1 from Chanel, half from Reeder, Baker, and Karlafakis. I'm probably not saying that right. No turnovers, though, and these two guys play in an epic battle in week number 16. Yeah, Tim's defensive line, it feels like that can happen just about any time you play any of these guys. These games kind of get really weird with how the defensive lines play. We've had a couple of games being played already, only one being recorded, but the Patriots and Bills, I think, is underway. It looks like the Dolphins and Chiefs are underway. So a couple of these games are happening right now. Only one game to report. So when we come back next Sunday, we'll go 17-18. New York Jets win against the Rams 24-17. D-Money, I love you. I love you with my whole heart. I'm telling you, this guy's tanking or unplugged or something is going on here. He's trying to get one of these top quarterbacks. That's my assumption. He's doing something. All right, I'm sorry. He's not dropping all of these games that we've seen him drop. 24-17, big time victory there for Mr. I almost said Logan. It is not Logan. It is James. There we go. I found the name in my head there. 133 rushing yards to 107, 203 passing to 265. We've got one turnover each for these two teams, 2 touchdowns offensively in the red zone for the Rams, 1 for the Jets. Even time of possession, look at this, 32 and 41 to 11-19, and somehow the Jets win this one. My goodness, that's a weird game that doesn't make a lot of sense. Fields 203, 2 touchdowns, the 1 interception, 64% completion percentage. Darren Edwards, the rookie, 67%, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was only sacked 1 time. Mayberry 7 for 79. Blues 17 for 52. The Rams are going to go out and get a running back some way, somehow. Tyson, this guy is going to be a Hall of Famer. 10 for 115. No touchdowns. Myers 2 for 65 with a touchdown. Thornton also threw in a touchdown. Then your defensive leaders here, your solo tackle leaders are going to be Quincy Williams with 6 on the day, 12 total tackles for loss. Quentin Williams, he's got 5. He's in the backfield all day long. He also had the 1 lone sack, and then your interception is going to come from Thomas and Shaw. Look at that. Another cornerback for D-Money and his Rams making plays and making things happen there in LA. All right, when we come back, we're going to look at the playoff scenarios that we have really quick. And then when we come back from that, we're going to look at some surprises. So 2 quick topics that we're going to hit on. And then we're going to come back and open up the mailbag, which is empty right now. So if you're hanging out with me, still time to get some mailbag questions or Maybag. I don't care. Let's go to Mr. Lost Sniper. I always laugh when he says bada bing, bada boom, because I am a wrestling fan and I just think of an Enzo Amore. And he says bada bing, bada boom, realest guys in the room. So I always finish that off in my head whenever that happens. I see I got some DMs here in Discord. I promise you, wide receiver con, I'll get to you as soon as I'm wrapping things up if you are watching us here live. All right, we're going to Bill. I know I've got what you see here on the screen, but you know what? I trust Bill more than I trust Madden. Let's look here at the AFC. The Chargers are the AFC West divisional champions at 13-2, currently holding on to that number 1 seed with a 1-game lead. The Browns and Little Koch are the North Division champions here in the NFC at 12-3. He is currently 1 game ahead of the number 3 seed. So some of these are going to be making decisions as we come down to the line here. Colts are the number 3 seed. They're 11-4. They're your South Division champions. And then we still have the North we got West, North, South, East still TBD. And it looks like a couple of teams are still in the running for that. But currently, the Bills are going to have that one. They're the number 4 seed at 9-6. The Raiders, the number 1 wild card at 9-6 from the West. Ravens number 2 wild card at 9-6 from the North. Jaguars the number 3 wild card at 7-8 from the South. Still alive. You got the Jets at 7-8 with some big wins this week. Chiefs at 7-8. He's going to need to go on a run. Pepper at 6-9. It's going to be a little tougher. My guy, Lost Sniper, 6-8-1. Also going to be pretty tough for him. The Jets and Chiefs have some realistic opportunities. Jags, Raiders, Ravens, Bills, all are going to come down to some pretty tough games. Let's look at a couple of those teams really quick. We'll start with the Bills here as he wraps up in the next, I think maybe he's playing right now. So him and the Patriots are playing right now. I don't know if anybody's got an update on that one. If you can, post it in the chat. Let me know. He also finishes off with the Titans. 2 very winnable games there for Mr. Joker. Then we're going to look at the Raiders. See who he's wrapping this season up with. He's got a game against the Cardinals and Seahawks. That's an uphill battle. Those are 2 very, very good teams. So he's going to have to come away with at least one of those if he's going to make a run here and solidify himself. The Jaguars is probably going to have a pretty tough road. I mean, he just lost too many games early in that season. He's got Colts, Packers. Colts still going for that number 1 seed. So still an opportunity. That's going to be a tough win for Big Hurt to be able to pull off. Priest, I don't know. Priest has shocked some people, but he doesn't seem to be that consistent Priest that we've seen make runs into the playoffs. He's going to have to go on a run here. Jaguars, I see, can fall 1-1 here. So we got Jets and Chiefs are the last 2. It's like the Jets right here. Big time win. That's right. Big time win over D-Money already. He's got to follow up against the Chiefs, who are also fighting for their playoff lives. That's a toss-up. That Jets-Chiefs game, it's going to be on the road in New York, so I kind of would lean towards the Jets. But, man, Luka has been, destroying a lot of people here in the second half of the season. Mahomes can go off on anybody. It's going to be the duality of the quarterbacks. Which one of these guys can play the best football? And then finally, we want to look at the Chiefs, who we see is going to be ending against the Jets. Let's see who he's got this week. He's got the Dolphins. Again, looks like that game is also going on. So if you have an update against the Chiefs and Dolphins, post that one in the chat too. It's going to come down to the very end between those last 2 teams. What up, Birdman? So I'm looking for a couple of updates if you see those games are happening. It says that they're happening, that may not mean absolutely everything. It's going to be a fun divisional race as we see that one come to the very end. I'm going to go ahead and say I think the Bills are going to get in. I think they have the easiest kind of way to get in. I think the Ravens are going to be in. It's going to come down Raiders, Jaguars, Jets, and Chiefs. Give me Raiders to be in. I'm going to call a wild card. This is the episode of surprises. Give me the Chiefs. He misses the first 4, 5, 6 weeks of the season, whatever that was. He comes back fresh off the boat, ready to go, feeling all enthusiastic. He got to have some time with his wife. He's got those batteries recharged. He's going to make a push. He's going to make the wild card for that number 3 spot in over the Jaguars and Jets. I think he's going to win that Week 18 matchup. Should be a really fun one. Coming over here to the NFC. Let's see who Bills got listed here. The number 1 seed are your Cowboys at 14-1. They've got that thing all sewed up. He is the East Division champions and the number 1 seed throughout the playoffs. Once again this season, the champ is showing that he is still the champ until someone else takes it from him. I feel like I got that right. I'm pretty sure I got that right. Panthers and Birdman, 11-4. They're currently tied for the number 2 seed. They have the tiebreaker according to Bill. He's 11-4. He's the South leader currently. Falcons and Bucks are still fighting him for that one. I'm doing my part over here, Bird. So you got to go complain to the rest of them. Lions are the number 3 seed. They're tied with the Panthers. They're the North Division champions at 11-4. The number 4 seed is going to be the West leader currently, but they're still fighting with the Commanders. The Rams, I think, are out of it. I'm pretty sure the Rams are out of it. So I think it's just the Commanders, Cardinals. Are the Cardinals still fighting? No, the Cardinals are also eliminated. So I guess they're just fighting with the Commanders. Commanders 11-4, Seahawks 10-5. So let's see what happens as we come to the end here. Currently, Seahawks have the number 4 seed. Commanders are the number 1 wild card. That could flip-flop as we come to the end. Falcons are your number 3 wild card. Buccaneers are your number 2 wild card. Both of those guys are at 10-5. 1 game behind the Panthers. Let's see as the last couple of games come to the end. So we got a lot of teams that we can look at. Still alive, the 49ers and Zoe, the Giants and Bill. Both of those teams at 9-6. So a lot of teams still have some opportunity. Let's look at them really, really quick. We're going to go Seahawks first. Seahawks are going to be wrapping up this season with the 49ers and Zoe and then the Raiders. Those are going to be 2 tough games, but he's had some impressive wins here towards the end of the season. 31-28 over the Cardinals. A tough win there, but these 2 guys just don't like each other. It's the stupidest thing in the world. We don't like each other. Virtually don't like anyway. 24-14 in that one. 37-27 over the Cardinals. So 2 close games against the Cardinals. A big one against Twinkie, who's played really good football, and then hung 42-7 against Massimo. So this is going to be winnable games here for the Seahawks, but also very, very tough games. The Commanders are going to be up next as these 2 guys battle each other for some seeding here. Both of them are going to be into the playoffs. He's got Eagles and Twinkie. Zoe. We're going to look at your team, but now we know it's Commanders, Seahawks. That's a tough way to wrap up this season. That's a tough ask for the 49ers. These are winnable games also for the Commanders, but man, both of these, Eagles and Zoe and his 49ers, could shock either one of these teams. It wouldn't surprise me at all if that would happen, but at the same time, these are 2 teams that are playing red hot. Who's going to finish first? I'm going to go ahead and take the Seahawks to get the complete win the West, get that number 4 seed. Let's see how the rest of these kind of play out. Buccaneers and Falcons. We already looked at the 49ers. We can also look at the Giants. Let's go look at the Falcons, and then we'll go look at the Buccaneers before we look at the Giants. He's got the Giants and Saints. Winnable games there. He has my number. I can't seem to compete with him. Bill's going to be fighting for his playoff lives. But you can see out of the last 5, we've lost 3. So something has happened here after the bye week. He hung 52 on Nice Hunger. He gave up 41, but then the offense sort of went away. He did score 35 against the Ravens, but 17 against Browns, 13 against the Panthers, 14 against the Panthers. Something is happening here with the offense. He's going to have to score points, but Giants Saints also not known as 2 of the more sort of middle tier to bottom tier at my Saints when it comes to offensive firepower. So let's see if the Falcons can wrap that one up. And then finally, the Buccaneers before we go look at the Giants. Buccaneers are going to be wrapping up the season. Vikings, Bears, 2 very winnable games. Nice Hunger, I love you with my whole heart. You know that Colin can beat anybody. That I'm not talking expectations of shocks. Now, if we're going to do it to the Falcons, we got to do it to the Bucs. Lost 2 of the last 3 after the bye week. The bye week has not been good to the NFC South unless your name is Bird and the Panthers. It's been really good for him. You can see the offense is taking a step back here. I mean, we're 37, we're 30, we're 43, we're 34, and then 24-23, 2 games back to back. This is a chance for Kevin to get back on track, win the games that he's supposed to win, and go on a run. And then finally, let's go look at these Giants. It's like I can't read all of a sudden. Guys, since I've turned 46, I can't see. I literally can't see nothing. I feel like I'm blind as a bat. I told my wife I'm losing my eyesight. My gaming career may be coming to an end just mercifully. The Giants here have had a couple of ups and downs, right? We went on, what was this, a 5-game winning streak, lost to the Eagles, bye week, a tough loss against the Colts, big win against the Packers. He's got Falcons, Cowboys. Again, we already talked about the Falcons game. Boy, to get to week number 18 and have to play the Cowboys and hope that you get a win, that's a pretty tough ask. That's going to be really, really, really hard to do. If I'm looking at this right now, Seahawks are the number 4 seed. Commanders 1 wild card. Buccaneers 2 wild card. Falcons and Cincy Bird The number 3 wild card, 49ers still alive, Giants still alive, 49ers, Giants. I just don't think you're going to pick up enough wins, with the caveat being Falcons are the wild card. I don't know what's happening with that team. I feel like he's got a road to set himself up for success. Commanders, Seahawks, I think will finish 1-2, just like we currently have them. Seahawks going to win that division. I think he has a slightly easier pathway to that. Commanders are going to get that number 1 wild card. Buccaneers are going to push him. Buccaneers may flop with him. It depends on the tiebreakers, which I don't know there, but I also don't know if he can overcome a 2 game. I think he could end tie there, get that number 2 wild card for Kevin. And then it leaves number 3. Is it Falcons, 49ers, Giants? Flip a coin. I'm going to go Cincyberg. He's played so hot most of the season. I think that's how that one's going to go ahead and play out. All right, I'm going to look really quickly at the chat since I was looking at something else really quick. What up, Birdman? Bird, that's going to be a fun game too. And it's going to come down to seeding. Are your seedings already sewed up? Are they over? Are you both sitting people? Are you playing people? I'm not quite sure. That's going to be a tough one. And then, yeah, Vikings and Bears, Kevin, give you an opportunity to I think, get back on track. But if you sleepwalk through that, you're going to get punched right in the mouth. I could see that happening too. All right, when we come back, we're going to look at some surprises. No mailbag questions, and then we're going to wrap things up unless somebody goes and gets me some mailbag questions.
Does your games against Cincyberg and Kobe have you crying into your console? Are you this freaking close to having an all-time OMFL meltdown? Is your team playing like they're being controlled by your drunk uncle? Well, don't rage quit just yet. Hold in that R2 button and sprint on over to Denbru's Part Shack, the only place to rebuild your busted Madden roster. Your team is a dumpster fire, but I have the parts to turn those digital duds into gridiron gods. We have receivers that run faster than Caitlyn Jenner ran away from his first family. Call now or you can kiss your OMFL glory goodbye.
That makes me laugh every single time. Birds is playing to win. Bucks still have a chance because he beat me both times this season. Is the toe breaker. That hurts. I hate when you break the toe. That's just the worst thing. If we end up with the same record, yeah, we'll see how that one plays out. You also have to factor in, as I know that you will, injuries and how that one's going to play out exactly. All right, some surprises here. I want to look at both stats and I want to look at teams. I think both of those are the way that we can look at that. We can even look at a sneak peek of possible award winners and how that one's going to play out. Number 1, I got to go with the Browns. 12-3, one of the highest ranked offenses, one of the better defenses. I know he's on a 1-game losing streak. He's won 7 of those things at home, 5 of them on the road. I know that Little Koch is a great player and a team that we've seen go on a run before. I just didn't know that this was going to be the team that he could turn it around so quickly. He has been very, very dominant. I think it is a combination of both Nipples doing what Nipples does sometimes and sort of unplugging or going on vacation. You know, Nipples has a busy life. Denbru seeming to sort of unplug this season and just like take a breather, which we all have been there and we all need that sometimes. And a Little Koch putting all the pieces together offensively, offensive line. We know this guy's an offensive line drafting guru. I'm going to take a page out of his book. I mean, this guy knows how to draft offensive linemen. And I think that's what we're going to see again this season, is him making a bit of a run. Now, the real question is going to be, what can he do in the playoffs? Trey is dominant in the playoffs at times. We've seen Randy be dominant in the playoffs, not so much of late, but we've seen these teams go on some really, really big runs. I'd have to throw the Commanders in there. Ron, I don't know him. He's a very busy man, and I've been busy. We just haven't had a chance to really get to know each other, and openly when we have, it hasn't been he's learning the curve here, and those aren't fun conversations to have. But what he's been able to do with the Commanders has been outstanding. I mean, he has beat and hung with some of the top dogs here, and to maybe never play our style, I don't know if he has or hasn't before, to step in day one, figure it out, take your lumps, take your bruises, and still come out with an 11-4 record for a team that he literally jumped in day one of the offseason. That's a really impressive season. I don't know that this one really counts as a surprise because I call it every single season, but Buccaneers and Kevin, 10-5. The offense is finally there for him. He's making plays on defense. This is the Kevin that we always knew that was there. He was just laying dormant behind a very depressed middle-aged man. But when he's not hiding behind that very depressed middle-aged, no, he's not depressed. He just sounds depressed all the time. Poor guy. We got to get that energy up, Kevo. We got to get you to pep up a little bit. He's playing really good football. That makes me excited. NFC South is a ton of fun with the Falcons, the Buccaneers, and the Panthers. I can't wait to see how that one is going to play out. A couple of these other surprises for me. Chiefs, I've already talked about it. He misses the first couple of games of the season, comes back, gets back from his little vacation, steps into it, and starts winning in a very dominant fashion. He is digging himself into a playoff opportunity just because he was gone for so long. And that is crazy impressive. Twinkie, he seems to have taken that step. He's taking little steps, not these giant leaps, but I like that. I like the little steps that build to consistency. Twinkie's been able to do that here with the Eagles. 7-8, an opportunity to make a run for the playoffs. He's still very much in it and still very much has an opportunity. Some shockers on the other side, surprises on the other side. Vikings, Bears, both sitting at 6-9. I don't know what's happened to these two teams. Nicehunger took back his favorite team. I hope he's still in here. Such a good human. He's building them. Missing a couple parts. I think he'll be able to get those in this draft. I just thought he was going to be a bit more competitive there in a very open division that lend itself to being very winnable if he could compete. And it just kind of fell off there in the middle. And then Colin and his Bears. I thought this was going to be the season. We've seen him take the step back last season. He usually takes one season to build the roster and then goes on a run. But I've also seen this happen where Colin will take 2 seasons. He'll get these 2 back-to-back killer drafts, and then bam, he is going on these epic runs that he had. Rams 4-12. I just don't know what to think about it, D-Money. I just don't. My Saints on a 4-game winning streak. Shout out to my Saints. That's a surprise. How the hell did that team win 4 games? I have no clue. But D-Money at 4-12, it just feels we've seen it. It's like, ugh. I don't know. Next season may be a terror for the rest of you in his division. Bengals at 2-13. Titans at 2-13. Texans at 2-13. Packers at 1-14. I would have never guessed that. Dolphins at 2-13. I guess I would have never guessed any of these. I know that Roger is like me, sort of middle of the road, but a 2-13 team, no way, especially after the way he played last Madden cycle. Byron took a Madden cycle off, stepped back in. I know he's got the quarterback, and maybe this is simple rookie quarterback, but Denbrew, he's got all the pieces still. I don't know what's missing there, but the offense just hasn't been his normal offense. And this isn't the Priest that I thought we would see this Madden. So a lot of these teams are complete surprises to me. And let's go look at a couple of stats, and then we'll look at some in-season awards here. Ugh, look at those things. That's ugly. We don't want to look at that. Get off of that screen. The touchdown to interception ratio, complete surprise to me. I mean, you see some guys here like Penix, 44-14. And then we got a 47-38 guy. Like, all these guys are going to break the NFL record for touchdowns, with 50, I think is the record, or 51, whatever it is. But yet we're also throwing, it's the 50-50 season that old boy had for the Bucks, Jameis Winston a couple seasons ago, whatever that was in real life. I mean, Williams he's going to finish the season with 6,000 passing yards, 53 touchdowns, and 42 interceptions. Like, those are what? What is this about? What's happening over there? I mean, May having a spectacular season. It's just the interception to touchdown ratio, the high numbers of passers. I mean, look how many 4,000-yard passers we have. We got to make this better. And we could talk about that on the next show when we come back next week, because we need to get some testing in with All Madden. No one's testing it, which is sort of making me hesitate to even question, should we go? Because if guys are really ready to go try All Madden, we would be testing it. And really, the only person is Nicehunger. Everybody else is pretty disengaged from it. Zoe asked me to send him an invite. Joker. So there's been 2 or 3 messages here and there, but I don't know if it's that time of the year, whatever it is, something is amiss here. And these numbers are just crazy numbers. I mean, look at these completion percentage numbers. A lot of guys way over 60. We got some 70% completion percentage guys in here. I mean, there's some crazy numbers. Favor 37 and 5, 72%. I mean, not a ton of yards when compared to everybody else, but we also know that D-Money can do that to the D-Wayne can do that to the very best of them. Trey having an all-star season, 40 and 12. And these are crazy numbers. 37 and 10 for Ron and Daniels. 35 and 20. 34 and 13 for Purdy with Brock Purdy. That's impressive, though. That's some impressive numbers. Fargus, 33 and 12. I just think these quarterback numbers overall are just kind of crazy. They always will be a little inflated. I don't know that they'll get all that much shockingly better with an all Madden, but it's worth at least looking at. Look at how we're going to have 2,000 yards rushers probably this season, with Henry already over 2,000 with 22 touchdowns. Cooks 16, 15. He'll be getting really close to 2,000 and 20 touchdowns. I mean, these are nuts. These are crazy numbers. I thought we don't have a yards per. Oh, they're right in front of your face, Nate. 9.5 yards per carry, 8.5, 6.5, 6.1, 7.1, 5.3, 8.8 for Gibbs. Nuts. These numbers are absolutely crazy. The touchdown numbers are high. The fumble numbers are high for a couple guys like Harvey and Brooks in here. I think the shocker to me, though, is just how many. I didn't feel like we were going to have this many this high, but yet we're going to have possibly 5 pushing to 2,000. At least 2 will get over 2,000. It's kind of crazy numbers. Henry could break the record. And if I know Trey, that stuff's important to him, he's going to try to go break that thing. McCool, 117 catches, 140 for Lowry. Tyson, 129, 121 from Collins. Richards, 120, 116 for Allen. Jeez, these are nuts numbers. Already have 4 guys over 2,000 yards. Probably a couple of guys coming right behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys over 2,000 yards. And that's not a show I want to see. 1,800 for Allen. Lowry, almost 1,800. Williams, almost 1,800. Tyson, almost 1,800. Copeland with 1,700. And look at the touchdowns. I mean, we got some guys out here with 22, 22, 20. These offensive numbers in general have been absolutely nuts. And I think that's where we are when we go all pro. You guys, as well as me, we all figure it out pretty quickly. We figure out what works, what doesn't work. Guys lean on what works. We avoid what doesn't work. We see these inflated numbers. We see the inflated scores. And we see defense kind of take a back seat. That's why I think I'm starting even to lean towards like first 2 seasons all pro, the rest of the cycle all Madden, just like that normal. The last 2 cycles, I feel like that normal, natural growth has happened. It's probably the way we should go every single season. It's like the first 2 all pro, get your feet wet, figure it out, and then go to all Madden as everybody starts to figure it out. I don't think anybody can debate. Some of these scores are absolutely nuts. Let's look at your tackle for loss leader. Parsons, Williams, Hutchinson, Parsons. That is probably a biggest shocker for me. I didn't think anybody was going to get over 20 sacks this cycle, especially the way the game plays. But 21 sacks, 35 tackles for loss. Parsons is just an absolute superstar stud. And if D-Wayne goes on another run, Parsons is going to be a very big part of that. Nolan, the rest of these numbers sort of fall off the cliff, right? 16, 15, 14. We've tried to make pass rush better. I think we have, but you have a lot of hitting the quarterback and he still gets the ball out. And sometimes it's like half a second, like he's well into being hit and somehow the ball still comes out. So I think these numbers are a little skewed because of the way the game plays and the animations that the way it plays, but kudos to Parsons for making that happen. Oh, let's get back over here and look at your interception leaders. You got 12 from Marshall, 11 from Cole. That's a great trade there, Big Hurt. I think that was an awesome trade. 12 for Marshall, 11 for Cole, 8 for Stingley. So even these numbers, with the inflated numbers that we've seen on offense, I mean, yeah, you'd expect these numbers to be in the 18 to 22 range, but we're not having that. And we've even turned interceptions way up. So I think those are also some shockers. Let's look at some in-season awards. We're going to look at the yearly awards. NFL MVP, we got Allen, Penix, and Faber. Looks like it's going to go to one of these quarterbacks. All these quarterbacks are playing extremely good football. Henry is going to get some votes. That guy is playing superb football right now. Coach of the Year is going to be Mr. Dakota again. Mr. Led Tasso. Since I hired Ted Lasso, I should have hired his cousin Led Tasso. This probably should be Tasso, which is a Cajun sausage if you've never had it. Pause. That's not what I meant. You know what I meant. Mr. Trey having a great season, and Mr. Muhammad of the Panthers coming back to help the Carolina get some wins here. Offensive Player of the Year, McCool, Thornton, Richards. Defensive Player of the Year, Marshall, Bailey, and Bernard. Rookie, Tyson, Killings, Connell. Rookie Defensive Player, King, Whitworth, and Reynolds. Best quarterback is going to be Allen, Herbert, and Richardson. Best running back, Henry, Cook, and Tootin. I think Henry's going to run away with that one. McCool, Thornton, and Richards are going to be your best receiver. Offensive line, you have a lot of Browns up here. That guy knows how to get him some offensive linemen. But Nelson, Frazier, and Teller. Best defensive line, Green, Whitworth, and not even going to try it. Best linebacker, Higgins, Queen, and Bailey over there for the Browns. Best DB, Marshall, Stingley, Milner. Best kicker, Little, Truhano? I don't know. Maddox, Tucker. And then we've already done that. Oh, I hit the button too many times. Yearly award. Let's go to the NFC really quick. Offensive Player of the Year, Tyson, Francisco, and Allen. Defensive Player of the Year, Parsons. He's going to win it. Hutchinson and Nolan. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Francisco, Allen, and McMillan for my Saints. All right, at least he's getting looked at a little bit. Sneed, Reinard, and Cunningham. McCollum coming right behind him. Faber, Daniels, and Penix for Best Quarterback. Etienne, and McMullen for the Cowboys. Tyson, Allen, Francisco, Best Receiver. Best Offensive Line, Higgins, Tunley, and Lewis. Best Defensive Line is going to be Parsons, Hutchinson, and Nolan. Nolan having an outstanding season for the Arizona Cardinals and Mr. Maniac. Diablo, Davis, and McMullen. Best Linebacker, Best DB, Cole, Bland, and not even going to try it, Mr. Nick. Best Kicker, Schrader, McLaughlin, and Gay. And then that is all of them. All right. When we come back, we're going to look at the mailbag one more time. And then we're going to close things up as we look at some surprises for season 117.
Leaky pipes, clogged drains, forget about it. Call Tony the Wrench Romano, New York's most connected plumber. Listen, I don't just fix pipes. I make problems disappear. Fast, quiet, clean. Just like Nonna told me. And maybe a couple uncles. Licensed, bonded, respected. No job too big, no secret tunnel too small. You can call someone else. Maybe they show up. You call me, I make sure it gets done. We don't just stop the leaks, we stop the talking. Now serving all 5 boroughs, and nobody asks questions.
We had one mailbag question just in. I appreciate you, Randy, for getting that in for me. He said, if you could steal one player from a division rival, who would it be? My first question would be, who's my division rival? Because I stink, and I'm not a rival or give competitive games to any of these guys. But I'll look at all of them just to go through here. Brooks wouldn't be bad. He's a very, very good player. He's averaging 7.1 yards per carry, 16 touchdowns. I know he's got the 7 fumbles already, but that guy is playing really, really good football. It'd be fun to have ETN from the Panthers. This kid played at the high school that I was a youth pastor in for 10 years of my life. It's where we moved when we moved here to New Orleans. It would be fun to have him. Plus, he's super speedy. I'd probably have to go with one of these wide receivers. I mean, Lowry is spectacular. I really like Francisco. He's super fast. 19 touchdowns. He seems to grab everything that's around him. But Lowry is just like, he's the everything that does everything. I mean, why would you not want him? I'm also a big offensive lineman guy, so like these dudes are studs. McGarry, Lewis. You're looking at Nelson, Lindstrom. I mean, you could add any of these dudes to your team and be doing pretty good here. I don't know how I feel about having one of my guys lead the league or lead our division here in tackles with 115, but good for him. I mean, defense, McMullen is a stud. Clancy, he seems to be in the backfield every single time I play him. Cole, superstar, 6 foot. He can run with anybody. You see, he is like second in the league in interceptions, number 1 by far here. Who's Bird's guy? I'm thinking about the guy you had last. I think I'm thinking about the guy you had last Madden. I think I am. That linebacker that was just running around making all kinds of plays. I think I'm thinking about last Madden. Even though McMullen is McMullen, is it McMullen? He's pretty good. It's a fun question. I would probably take Lowry just because I like having Barnes. That's it. He was stupid. He was absolutely stupid. McMullen's really good too, though. I mean, we can look at his player card. He's 6'3", 225. I like him a little bit heavier, but that's because I run a 3-4. I mean, this guy can 90, 91, 85. I mean, 91 tackle, 91 pursuit, 78 strength, 85. I mean, what can this guy not do? I mean, just an absolute stud. I'd probably pick him, but it would be hard not to take Lowry, who, I mean, again, superstar, X Factor, 99 everything, and he's doing all of it at 93 speed and 96 acceleration. But he's 99 everything else. I mean, he just does everything perfectly, and he is a pain in the butt, and I hate playing against him. All right, when we come back, we'll do one last thing, and then we're going to get out of here, and I'll be back hopefully tonight if I can sneak away.
¿Estás dolido por Madden? Oh, pues llama 4444. Es Miguel. Te ayudaré a mejorar tu vida. No Madden, no McDonald's, McFlurry. Adiós, amigo. 444-4444. Llama, te puedo ayudar.
When your nips has been twisted, please call Miguel.
No hablamos inglés.
My favorite conversation to have, quarterback trees. There was no way I just don't have that kind of time, y'all. Everybody knows that. I do more than just the OMFL. I try to run the entire community. And unfortunately, the guys that I have that have the kind of time and desire to throw themselves deep into these types of potential issues for a league, man, this is going to come off wrong, but I'm just going to say it anyway. They're selfish. And I don't mean that like in a super negatory way, but they are. They only care about them, their team, and winning. That's what's most important, not the league as a whole. Trey was kind enough to ask the question, and I appreciate that. I think it was because he got burnt with that the big which one is it called? Did I just mess it up? No, I didn't. There was one that we had to camp counselor, wherever camp counselor is. I don't even know where it's at. That's how much of these I know. Is this camp counselor? Let's find camp counselor real quick. There it is. Camp counselor, right? Additional 100 rookie snaps for gold in training, 2 times XP boost in training camp mini games, 4 times for training camp mini games, and then a 5% boost for dev. That is banned. It is still banned. It will stay banned. Trey has tried to make a case for it, but that's just way too much XP. We already give you plenty of opportunities to earn XP around here. Anyway, he got burned on that, so he was kind enough to ask the question about the next thing. The problem is, I got way off track. I chased a rabbit. I apologize. But the problem is we just don't have the time, the energy, and I don't have people that dedicated to help me go find the issues that potentially lie there. This is a great idea in theory. And for probably a lot of leagues, this is perfectly fine. I love it on the surface. It is just too powerful for the way that we play football here and the way that we encourage, desire, and want player development, for you to get players and strategically build them up to build your team. This puts it to a place you don't have to do that. I mean, just look, this is a silver one here. It's +7 throw on the run, +7 throw under pressure. I mean, +7, y'all. That is way too powerful. These are, and then you stack those and become even more powerful. So if I were to use this one and stack it with, I mean, I don't even know where all these could be, but stack it with, stack it with here, right? This is increased passing accuracy. Like, these things start to stack and they get way too powerful, and you don't need to have really great players. You could have average players and make them really great if you have enough coaching XP to put into them. It's just overpowered. So we came up with the system that we currently have, which is, I'll read it to you because I've tried to explain it, and in the explanation, I've felt like people still don't give it, including board members. So I posted yesterday, you get 1 master or platinum. I've never mastered anything, so I only have platinum, 1 gold, 1 silver, and as many bronze or bases that you have. These are what we call bronze. They're just called basic ones. They're just open. These are platinums right here, the blue, and then the silver is the silver ones, and the gold ones are gold. I have gold under my my coaches over here, so you can see gold there. So these are platinum, gold, and silver, and then bronze. So you get 1 platinum to use anywhere, 1 gold to use anywhere, 1 silver to use anywhere, and then as many bronzes that you have open. The problem is people get confused when it comes to play sheets, and so they're stacking all these platinums. But you get 1 platinum to use, whether it's a play sheet or an ability, period. 1 gold, period. 1 silver, period. Then the rest have to be these bases or the basic ones that you have open. I think what we're going to do is, and I'm going to announce this a little later tonight when I have time, if I can type it up really quick. I feel like that's easy to understand, but even again, board members have sort of missed it and not fully understood it, which just tells me that it's too confusing. So what we're going to say is, and I'm pausing because I'm like, man, I don't even know if I want to open up that can of worms, because it can still get pretty. The idea was to allow your head coach to have a platinum, your offensive coordinator to have a platinum, your defensive coordinator to have a platinum, and then whatever you want on your trainer. If you hired or fired a coach, you can't use your trainer. It's a glitch. It happened. You can see I haven't been able to use anything on my trainer all season long. It sort of is what it is. After the platinum, you've got 1 gold that you can use anywhere. Let me make sure I'm saying this right, because I have a feeling I'm not. I wrote it down, so I threw it at the board. Yes, 1 platinum for all 3 of those. Head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. 1 gold anywhere. 1 silver anywhere. That includes if you have a second coach, if you have a second offensive coordinator, a second one that you want to use on your defensive coordinator, or your play sheet. Either of those, you get 1 gold, 1 silver. You can place it anywhere. The rest have to be just empty, or just base, these red ones, the red ones that you have open. You can only use base for everything else. So you get basically 3 platinums, 1 gold, 1 silver. That's a little bit more than what we're currently giving everybody. Playbooks, non-attributes, everything counts. You just can't stack. And so if it lists an ability, you can't stack it with another listed ability. If it's a non-listed ability, such as, we just looked at one, right? Right here. I don't have this unlocked currently, but do I have any of these that are like that? So quarterback, you can see +7. It lists an ability. +7 throw under pressure. +7 throwing accuracy medium. +7 throwing accuracy deep. Here, it just says increased reaction. So not a plus to an ability. It just says increased or reduced abilities. It doesn't even give you a percentage. It just sort of says you can use those. You can stack those, but you cannot stack attributes. So if I have something like this quarterback where it says +7 throwing under the run, +7 throwing under pressure, I can't use anything else that gives me plus anything for throwing on the run or throwing under pressure. If I had all of this unlocked and I had plus throwing accuracy medium, +7 throwing accuracy deep, then I can use no other abilities from my offensive coordinator or my defensive coordinator or a play sheet. None of these that would add plus anything to those same attributes. I think that's what we're going to allow. This gives guys more that they can build towards, allows you to use some of these coaches that have platinum stuff, but at the same time not allow it to be so crazy that you can't use anything. So you're going to get 1 platinum for each: your head coach, your offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator, then 1 gold anywhere, 1 silver anywhere, abilities and play sheets, and then everything else is going to be base. So my platinum for both my head coach, my offensive coordinator, and my defensive coordinator. If you don't have platinum, then you have to use gold. If you don't have gold, you can use silver, but there's no way. You all have at least gold. Most of you have at least a platinum, right? You can use that as a play sheet or an ability. That is the choice is yours, but you don't get both. So I don't get to use a platinum under an ability for my head coach and use a platinum underneath the play sheet. Mike McDaniel, my defensive coordinator, perfect example. I could not use inside stuff as well as master of disguise. I can't use both of those, right? Actually, I don't even know why these are all checked because I'm not using all those. I don't have that many open. Oh, some of these things are locked in. You can't change them. That's right. Which is another issue. We changed this halfway through. Oh, I haven't even done mine. Duh. There you go. Because we just advanced, didn't we? Late last night. Yeah, after my game. Duh. I was like, wait a second. I haven't even done my stuff yet. Anyway, so that's why it's showing that mine are checked, because I haven't actually done my weekly strategy. So I'll announce that. You get 1 platinum coach, 1 platinum offensive, 1 platinum defensive. That can be abilities or play sheets, your call. 1 gold on any, 1 silver on any. Everything else has to be bronze / basic or whatever it is, because it's not technically bronze. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. And yes, you got to make sure that you, what up, coffee? You got to make sure that you stream that, but listen, you guys got to help me police each other. So it is what it is. I can't police everybody. I do other things around here. Lately, I don't do anything but this. So I think that's what we're going to go with. We're going to open that up. I am trying to test all Madden. I really think that we got to give it a look. I don't know that it will solve the problem. I haven't played all Madden in 2 months since we started. So it's something we all got to test. And the only way it's going to get tested if you guys help me test. All right, I got to get out of here. I'm going to announce those. I have some suspensions that I have to announce in a little bit. So that's also going to have to happen. And I also need to get out of here, and I'll come back a little later tonight. So tonight, I will announce the changes. I'll announce the changes here before we go back to regular life. And then we got to hand out some suspensions, and then we got to test all Madden. All right. I appreciate you guys. If you're watching this later, leave me some comments down in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking about the surprises, what has surprised you so far this season, and let me know what you think about these coaching trees. I love the concept. It's just too powerful. It's too strong. It's too much. And unfortunately, we got to police it and bring it down. And I've had a couple owners who do the homework and look at people's stuff and ask me about it, and they say they feel bad. Get over it. You're a big boy. We all have to police each other. Most of the times people just don't understand. Sometimes people using ignorance as a reason to break the rules. And sometimes people are just flat out breaking the rules. But either way, we have to police each other. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I love you. We'll see you tonight.
Smash that like and subscribe.